Hello everybody, welcome back to G Views. I'm a 21-year-old cisgendered white girl who loves talking about movies and TV. Now I know I've been away for quite some time. I've been at my university doing my final semester of uni, so I was doing my dissertation and I had my final essay, which I did my final essay on Wonder Woman 1984. Obviously my rants really helped, and I actually watched my old videos so I could get my ideas because I couldn't find the film anywhere online for free, so I had to rely on kind of the notes I'd made, thank God. But I actually did my final essay on Wonder Woman 1984 being a terrible feminist movie and had bad messages for women. So, you know, that was a great way to end the year. But I'm finished with my uni and I'm really excited to talk to you about a film I watched yesterday. I actually went to the cinema. I went to View and it was so nice to be in the cinema again. Like, I had my Tango Ice Blast, had my popcorn, I had a little bag of Haribo because you get this meal deal, it's like $4.99. It was beautiful. I watched A Quiet Place Part 2. So I'm really excited to talk to you about it and kind of give you a little update on things like that. So if you want to know what I think about A Quiet Place Part 2, then keep on watching. So as I said, I'm finished with uni now and I'm moving to London, which is exciting. So I'm just enjoying my last few weeks in Norwich and my last few weeks as a student. Well, technically I'm not a student anymore, but I don't have a graduation anymore, so technically I'm still a student till next year when I graduate. Then there's uni. Quiet Place Part 2 I think was meant to come out last year, and then I think there was a pandemic, I'm not sure, and so it got pushed back, and I think it got pushed back again, but I think it came out in the US earlier and then just come out in the UK. It's directed by John Krasinski. I think it's written and produced by him as well. I think it might be also produced by Emily Blunt as well. And it's kind of the sequel, well, it is the sequel to the first one. It kind of looks at the events at the end of the first one and onto this one, the next film. And so I will be doing a lot of spoilers as well, which on G Views I always spoil, so you're used to it now. So at the end of the first A Quiet Place, the family who were in the farm, they were kind of ran by monsters, so they lost one of their kids, and at the end John Krasinski kills himself. Well, he doesn't kill himself, like he saves his child by like making noise so that the child can escape. And the second one follows Emily Blunt and the kids, the 3 kids including the baby, as they try and find their way to safety or trying to find other people, and they find Cillian Murphy, who is a family friend, which they introduced when day 1 when the monsters come, and kind of their interactions and then interactions with other people and about survival. I really enjoyed A Quiet Place. I just love a good horror, and honestly just being back in a cinema watching horror just makes everything more tense, makes everything more scary. You really get into that atmosphere of the characters, and I definitely felt like that way. The film went really quick. I don't know how long it was, but it didn't feel long. When it ended I was like, oh, it ended like that, okay, interesting. So I would say the main star of A Quiet Place Part 2 is Millicent Simmons. Yeah, Millicent Simmons, who is the daughter, and she's deaf. She was amazing in this film. It basically centers around her trying to get, because from the last film, her little cochlear ear implant, God, I probably said that really wrong. Basically if she upped the frequency, it has this horrific ringing for her and the monsters, because the monsters are very like, they've got amazing hearing, and that's why they can find humans, because humans are bloody loud. And so she wanted to broadcast it everywhere so that they can find people and kill the monsters. And so it's on her little mission, and her with Cillian Murphy, who's really good in this film. Usually he plays a villain, but he was not a villain in this film. He was really good. He also has emotional backstory And yeah, so it was basically them, because Emily Blunt she's amazing. Like, the fact that there's barely any speaking and the pain on her face, like, she's just an incredible actor, and I think she's fabulous. I mean, all the actors were really good. There were some really, really tense scenes that I was like, ah! That's what I love doing in films, going, ah! When the monsters were coming and like they were all doing different things, and there was a bit when the oxygen was running out between the son and the baby, and I was like, oh my god, they're really gonna kill a baby? There weren't that many scares, but when the scares came, like, they were organic and they weren't like super jump scares. Like, sometimes they would be like really silent and then a thing of crows would come out and I'd be like, oh my god. Because they were so spread out, it wasn't just like jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. It was just so well directed, and I was gonna say written, but like the suspense, it was very well paced. Also, the score for a film, obviously, that doesn't have a lot of dialogue, the score I found was beautiful. Like the moment when they find the boat on the bridge, it was just very uplifting and hopeful, and it was just very, very nice. Kind of like Sound of Metal, the mix of not being able to hear anything, so being in the daughter's shoes and not hearing anything and just being silent, and you're like, oh my god, there's someone behind you, but obviously she can't hear, so she has to go off what other people are saying, or she can feel things. But she was just so smart. I just really like smart decisions. So I will say I would definitely recommend watching A Quiet Place Part 2 if you like horror. It's not super scary, but the moments that are nice and tense, they're more tense. It's like, ah! But not like, you know the difference. But I definitely would recommend. Very well directed, looks beautiful, the CGI very good, and not a lot of it in regards to that. Obviously the monsters are CGI, but the settings around them seem real, and they kind of focus on like a few different locations, not loads, so they can really focus on kind of the claustrophobia and everything like that. The acting was amazing, the score was beautiful. I think there's going to be a third one. It seems like they're leading up for another one, which I can definitely see. And yeah, so I would give A Quiet Place Part 2 8.5 out of 10. If I had any recommendations, I would just say that maybe there could be a bit more scares thrown in. I wanted to see Emily Blunt do more in regards to kicking ass and taking names. But obviously she was also doing her own thing, and she had a very emotional journey. It was very emotional. Oh, there's also a horrific bear claw scene. It was vile. If you've seen Quiet Place Part 2, let me know and comment down below. I will also link my previous video in the description box below, alongside my Twitter and Instagram. They're great places, make sure to check them out. Make sure to like and subscribe as well on this video, and comment down below if you have any other movies or TV shows you want to watch. I have watched a lot of Netflix shows, but I can't really remember them all. I will say I did recently watch The Mayor of Easttown, which was fabulous. Kate Winslet is a goddess. Love Evan Peters as well. Highly recommend that. And I just watched the Anne Boleyn Channel 5 show with Jodie Turner-Smith as Anne Boleyn, and also recommend as well. She's a goddess. So I hope you guys are staying safe, staying COVID negative, and enjoying the sunshine, and I will see you soon.